My name is Naomi Nethengwe. I'm a principal at Infinite Partners. I joined the firm in 2022 when we started off as a team. But prior to that, I worked across industry in South Africa. So for me, I've always been very passionate about investments. So professionally, I studied finance, but in that journey, I just decided that I wanted to go into investments. So I went to investment banking on day one. And when I was there, I just wanted to get more experience and more exposure in the industry. And fast forward, I made the decision to go into private equity because I thought private equity was quite a good space for me to marry my investment skills with impact and creating value for stakeholders. I think my favorite sector, I like software as a service. I also like connectivity. But then the reality is how our space works is you need to find deals that are good for investors. So normally you are going to look across industry. And as long as the deal makes sense, then it's something that you're going to consider and you're going to evaluate whether or not you continue. So when we invest in businesses, what is important for us is value creation. So the reality is, as an investor, you are provided with capital from LPs to eventually generate returns for them. So whenever we invest in businesses, we look at investments with that in mind. So when we looked at E4, E4 was really one of the companies that fitted what we're trying to build as a firm. It's highly scalable. The business is also, you can expand it geographically. And that's what we've been doing as investors in the company. But I think more importantly, as private equity firms, we are involved in actively managing the businesses that we invest in, but we are never operationally involved in businesses. So the one thing we really liked about E4 was the management team that we had on the ground, a very seasoned team of entrepreneurs and professionals who have been with us now for 2 years. And I think having that team that has got a common vision with us as shareholders just helps us in driving outcomes that are going to be favorable both for us and the team that is on the ground. So for me, mentorship is quite an important role. So personally for me, I know that I've had good mentors who have seen me grow in the space, who were very much part of my journey when I knew nothing. And I still work with them today to fast track my career. So even for the young people, I always say that it's good to have that one person who you know they are going to guide you or they're going to give you advice on how best to tackle profession, life, and everything, because you just need like input from other people. So for me, leadership is about working with people in an authentic manner. You need to be authentic with whoever you are leading, because in the end, you are leading people who are going through life and very difficult and very different circumstances in life. But then I also think that in leadership, you need to be able to work with people such that they also feel empowered. You don't want to force your views and your opinions on the teams that you're leading. You need to allow the teams to think for themselves, to come up with solutions, and to partner with you in building whatever common vision you're trying to build. I think that it's quite important to also bring up juniors in the team, or juniors in the industry, empower them also to walk the journey that you've walked, because in the end, you need to pass on the skills to others. So downtime, I enjoy doing physical activities. So I do, if I'm at home, I do a bit of running. I do gym as well. But then if I'm looking for something that is more relaxing, just reading a book at the comfort of my home with my family is really something that I enjoy. With private equity, you are able to invest in businesses, and obviously with making those investments, you want to make a return. But then the reality is, in those businesses, they are multiple stakeholders that you need to work with, who also need to get something from the process. So private equity really allows one as a professional to create value, whilst also on the impact side, you're able to impact communities. You're able to have a very strong impact on the workforce and the wider communities that we serve. And I think even as a firm, that's why even when we invest, we just don't invest for returns. We also look at the impact side of the investments that we are making.